Today is October 6, 2021. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, today I'm going to talk about numbers, some statistics. So I'll be reading a little bit or looking down at some notes, so forgive me if that's distracting. But first of all, today, I just want to mention that the pro-abortion side is ramping up their opposition to the Supreme Court's decision to hear an oral argument on the Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health case. That's the Mississippi 15-week abortion ban. And there were big rallies all over the country, especially in Washington, D.C. But, as they've done in the past, these pro-abortion rallies they're really targeted at the justices. They want to make sure that the Supreme Court sees them and hears them and is not a veiled threat that you better vote the way we want. So just be aware that the other side is unhinged. With the heartbeat bill in Texas, they're just so over the top, so beside themselves, cutting themselves almost, because they're so much opposed to what is going on with the Supreme Court, allowing the heartbeat bill in Texas to take effect, and now to hear the Mississippi case. You have to believe that they are fearful that Roe may very well be overturned, and we hope and pray that is the case too. But obviously, we want it to happen, and they don't. But looking at some numbers here, last week I attended the Right to Life of Michigan State Conference, and they had a handout that featured, tragically, some numbers between the census of 2010 and the census of 2020. And it said that between that 10-year period, 248,568 abortions were performed in the state of Michigan. That's almost 250,000 people never saw the light of day in Michigan because of abortion. Of that number, 121,927 were performed on black women. And they gave another statistic that between 2010 and 2020, the black population in the state of Michigan declined by 23,783. Now that's, so you think about, the Latina population has grown, the white population has grown. We're talking over a 10-year period. But somehow the black population did not go up at all over that 10-year period. It actually declined almost 24,000 people. And that's a staggering statistic. It just points, again, like we've said before, that the pro-abortion industry, Planned Parenthood and their allies, they have targeted black women for extinction. Not the mothers, but the babies. And in Michigan, 51% of all abortions are performed on black women, and the black population does not account for 50% of the state. By far, it does not. Maybe in Wayne County it does, but not in the state of Michigan. So let me turn a corner now and just talk about Michigan's governor, Gretchen Whitmer. Last week, she vetoed several portions of the state budget that had been approved by the state House and Senate. And part of those vetoes included $16 million that were targeted toward pro-life or pro-family policies. And $10 million of that alone was that would have funded an ad campaign or a public relations campaign to promote adoptions. And, adoption is the most logical alternative to abortion. but the governor vetoed that ad campaign that would have encouraged women to consider adoption as another alternative to abortion. And she vetoed a $1.5 million plan that would have funded assisted, I should say, the state's crisis pregnancy centers, like the one here in Kalamazoo. It would have established a fund that these crisis centers could have applied for a grant to assist in their own funding. No, they don't get federal funding or state funding like Planned Parenthood does. And this would have been just a small amount of money to help them in their noble effort to help women choose life for their babies. And there were other aspects to it. I'm not going to go into all the weeds about all the various aspects. But here again, the governor of Michigan is a pro-abortion ideologue. And even when it comes to adoption, she refuses to help. She just refuses to help. So she's up for re-election next year. So I know the pro-life movement is eagerly awaiting the day that we can vote her out of office. So we have three things today. The pro-abortion people are putting pressure on the Supreme Court with all these rallies. The black population in Michigan is actually declining because of the huge number of abortions in the black community. And three, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has vetoed $16 billion out of the state budget that would have helped pregnant women choose life for their babies, or would have even funded a campaign to promote adoptions. So with that, I'll let you go. See you next time. Goodbye.